Right then, viewers, we are back with a new episode of AC Milan, Awake the Sleeping Giant. And in today's episode, it's not going to be matches or anything. You're probably used to this. You probably know what's going to happen in this episode because it happened in the last season. But this episode is primarily going to be about the end of season awards, all that good stuff. We'll have a look through the other leagues. We'll have a look at our squad and transfers and potential players that I think I might need to get rid of because, of course, with us being in the Champions League as well, I feel like there is going to have to be quite significant investment and improvements on our side, especially defensively, which, you know, if you watch the episode, you know we are about as defensive as a rubber duck. That if we could describe our defence in one, it would be a rubber duck you have in your bath. That's how strong we are defensively. So whoever I get in now, it can only improve. Obviously, if I do get a defence of Phil Jones and Johnny Evans, that is going to be underwhelming. So overall, how do I think this season has gone? Well, at the start of the year, obviously, I said it time and time again that I wanted top four. I wanted top four. That was basically the next step in our sort of like progression as a side. And we were very much on sort of track to get top four. We got some really, really good wins. Obviously, for the first, I'd say, few months, we were quite consistent. We only lost 4 games in up to is that November, so that's not a bad record by any means. But then throughout January and December we seem to have, and March, we'll get into that in a second, but December and January seem to sort of fall off the pace a little bit. Then obviously March absolutely killed us with the likes of Lazio, Inter and Juventus. So there was a little bit of nail-biting stuff when it came to the end of this year because I wasn't too sure if we were able to, you know, stay in that top 4. Obviously, with the likes of Napoli, Sassuolo and Atalanta on my back as well, it was going to be very, very tight. And basically, that's the main reason as to why I brought Belotti in. And I think Belotti was a game changer. I honestly do. I think I've had experiences with Belotti in the past, in past FMs, when I've managed like Liverpool, all that stuff. And Belotti for me this year has been an absolute game changer. We wouldn't have got top 4 by Andrea Belotti. We would not have got top 4. And he is the biggest reason as to why we did. Obviously 28 now, he is a little getting on a bit, so we potentially might have to look at getting a regen in to sort of like shadow him for the next few years, so like a ready-made replacement for when Belotti does start to decline a little bit. But arguably right now he's in the his prime of his career. But in his first season in an AC Milan shirt, he scored 20 goals, 2 assists, 4 man of the matches in 21 appearances, and he's been amazing, man. Honestly, he's been absolutely incredible. And if we look at our top goal scorers in the side, I'm gonna have to get this now, aren't I? Goals scored. I'm assuming it's goals scored. No. Oh God. Right. Give me a second. I'll find it. Okay, so all that to do is go to the tactics screen. So as you can see, Belotti with 24 goals in all competitions. And then our next top goal scorer was Jesus Corona. And when you consider Jesus Corona came in the start of last year, it makes it all that more impressive how many goals Belotti has scored since he came in January. He scored 20 goals for us in January, which is absolutely ridiculous. And then also obviously got the likes of Rafael Leo, David Neres. Obviously David Neres, probably a little bit of a disappointing season for him maybe. He's been decent with 9 assists, 6 goals, 37, only missing 1 game, which is obviously the final game where he did get an injury. But overall, our attacking trio of Belotti, Corona and Neres, I think it's looking good for the next few years. Obviously, Neres is the younger of the 3. Corona is 29 and Belotti is 28. So we've probably only got about 2 or 3 years out of them 3 before we do have to start looking for replacements. And then we've got the likes of Benacer, who absolutely fantastic, obviously 24. We've got Zlatan. Least said about him the better. Actually, he scored the winning goal, I think, didn't he? He did score the winning goal a few episodes ago. So, I mean, he's 40 now. He's going to be leaving. And his contract does come to an end. It doesn't come to an end this year. Right, that's disappointing. But he is wanted by Norwich, so could he potentially go into the Premier League? Obviously, there at United at one point, could he be playing in a Norwich shirt? What a downgrade that is. Then we've got Florentino Luis, Castrovilli, Anderson, our centre-back, getting 3 goals. Okay, then. Which probably makes Castrovilli and Florentino Luis look a little bit poor, considering they've got the same amount of goals as a centre-back. But overall, I think, as I said, Belotti's been the game changer. He'll definitely be playing next year. My main sort of target in terms of transfers this year is going to be our defensive areas. Potentially, and I know it's going to seem controversial, I can only apologize. I'm a controversial man, honestly. I don't do what the people say. I like to cause headlines. Donnarumma might be leaving. He was okay last year. 23, he's an absolute fantastic keeper, but worth £45 million. If I got an 80 million bid for him, I wouldn't be. I mean, he's got a 64 million release clause, but 64 million for Donnarumma wouldn't be terrible. I'd definitely be up for selling him. And then obviously our defensive areas were Anderson and Christensen, who were okay, but they're probably not going to win us the Champions League, if I'm honest. The right back area is an area I definitely want to improve, 100%. That right back area has been a big issue for me all year. Left back, obviously, we've got Grimaldo. Don't need to replace him. Really, really good. Been absolutely fantastic. Arguably, probably should be having more assists than he does, considering he's got really, really good dribbling and crossing in his locker. So that area is definitely an area we are looking at. And then midfield wise, I think we're pretty set. Maybe a few backups here and there. I think the midfield of where is he? Castrovilli here as a box to box, really, really good. Obviously, he came in. I wasn't too sure what to make of Castrovilli. He was a little bit of a punt at the time, but I think he's been very, very good for us. Only playing 28 games because he was injured quite a few times. So potentially Castrovilli might need to move himself down to a backup potentially if we can get someone better in that box-to-box position. But yeah, I think overall that's what my plan is going into next year. Defensive areas primarily, and then potentially a centre mid, and obviously a few backups here and there. But we'll have to see how we get on in terms of selling players. In terms of selling players, there's going to be a few. Like Cyprian, the goalkeeper, is probably going to go. Leo Duarte, I mean, Gabby is probably going to go. Sailmaker's going to go. Who else? Leroy Abanda. There's going to be quite a lot that do leave. Costello, Rebic. There is a lot of players that are going to leave this year. And to be honest with you, if we can... I mean, how many of these have got expiry... contract expires? When does their contract expire? Oh, Jesus, right. This is terrible. Right. I can't actually see. I'll check that off screen, but I'm assuming not a lot of these have... contract expiries. No, a lot of them are tied down. So, yeah, we'll probably be selling quite a few players. If there is any players we can sell for big money, like Rebic could potentially go. Obviously, he hasn't played that much this year. I said Sailmakers over here as well with 7 million. Hasn't really played or featured in my side. And when he has played, he's been absolutely terrible. So, yeah, there is definitely some possibilities to get a bit of money here. Obviously, we have got this guy, Jens Petter Hawaj, and I know that this year he is particularly a sort of standout player in terms of how good he can become. So I might keep him around just because he can play on either side, and he's quite young as well, and he has a little bit of potential to fulfill in the next few years as well. So, I mean, yeah, I think that's my overall thoughts on the squad. I mean, Castello's probably going to leave as well. There's potential to get 30 or 40 million worth of players and reduce our wage budget significantly. But yeah, let me know in the comments who you think I should be selling. If there's anyone that you think has disappointed for you, anyone that I'm being a little bit too generous to, anyone you think I'm being a little too bit harsh to. If anyone says Zlatan, you're wrong. So, let's not get into that conversation. But in terms of transfer budget, obviously we had a look last episode, 29 million with 2.1 million wage budget. Hopefully that'll be raised a little bit, the transfer budget, and that wage budget will be lowered a little bit in the next few weeks. Okay, so we'll go through the leagues now. Obviously, we'll start with our home league, Serie A. So Juventus won the league, not surprising. Inter, Lazio and us. So we are slowly getting ourselves out of the bed. We're slowly waking up. We're slowly we're snoring. We're like, what's going on? What's going on? That's what we're doing right now. And one day we'll be like, get the coffee. We're back. That's what'll happen to AC Milan one day. But then we've got Napoli, Sassuolo, Atalanta in the Europa League and Euro Cup 2 respectively. And then Salernitana, Spal and Frosinone leaving Serie A and going into Serie B. I mean, a few of these might have few good players to get on a free maybe. I mean, I am going to have a look through all the leagues, look for players that have got their contracts running out, all that good stuff, just to see if there is anyone around that we can potentially nick under teams' noses. So we'll go to France next. Obviously, we still have the Champions League and the Europa League, which we will have a look at today. In terms of a League, I'm fully expecting PSG. Yeah, not a surprise. Is anyone going to stop PSG? Probably not. I mean, considering they are, 16 points clear of second of Lyon, and Lille getting in top 3, Marseille, Monaco, and Rennes, and then Amen's in the playoffs, FC SM and FC Metz getting relegated. So nothing really surprising there. Their regen is this guy, Daouda Yao. I mean, we will go on to the regens later on. So a Bundesliga, once again, it's probably going to be Bayern, right? It is, but it's a lot closer between Bayern, Leipzig and Dortmund in this league. Obviously, Dortmund only missing out by 2 points and Leipzig only missing out by 4 points. So obviously, Bayern's squad's quite, not old, but it's getting on the older side. Obviously, like Manuel Neuer, who is a keeper, he could arguably play for a lot longer because he's a keeper. But obviously, they have the likes of David Alaba, 29 years old. They bought Ruben Neves. Oh, I really like Ruben Neves. That's annoying. Obviously, Lewandowski's 33, so they're going to have to find a striker. The Thomas Muller, 32. Anyone else here? I don't think there's anyone else here that's particularly old. But there is definitely a few players here that are getting on the old side. So it definitely allows Dortmund and Leipzig to potentially get themselves a league before Bayern sort of regenerate like Doctor Who, all their players. Then we've got obviously Dortmund. Who's their best player? Jadon Sancho's still there. So is he wanted by anyone? Man United? No, by Real Madrid. Right then, that's going to be horrendous if they get Sancho. And then we've got Leipzig. This guy's a regen. I mean, there's some very poor regens at the moment. But yeah, Bochum, Darmstadt getting relegated to Mainz in the playoff relegation thingy-majiggy. I don't know what you call it. Then Hoffenheim, Gladbach and Hertha getting Europa Cup and Europa League. And then going into the Premier League. This one is I'm most interested in because obviously the Premier League is more not competitive, that's the wrong word, but it's a lot more likely for the Premier League to be won by another team other than the likes of Bayern, Juventus, PSG sort of stuff. So, right then, well, that does make me look like a fool, doesn't it? Right, that is an issue. Chris Wood, players that you wouldn't be expecting getting top goal scorer considering the players that are in the league. Chris Wood, Caleri and Calvert-Lewin in the top 3 top goal scorers. Okay then. Man City winning the league. United, Chelsea, Tottenham getting top 4. Liverpool, Everton, and Arsenal. Everton getting themselves in Europe, and Liverpool sacking Jurgen Klopp. Is he a club favourite personnel? He is alongside you can't see it. I'm an idiot. I'll change that for you. There you go. So you can see it properly now. So Jurgen Klopp is in favour personnel. They have got Alexander Isak, who was obviously a really, really good striker. They got him on. Oh no, they didn't get him on a free. They got him for £64 million. Wow, and he had a pretty good season with Liverpool this year, despite getting 5th. So I'll be interested to see who sort of comes in for them. I don't know if I can see who they're trying to go for. Can I see who they're trying to go for? Minamino's joining Porto though. Obviously, probably been quite disappointing as he has been, in real life, really. 13 assists and 32 for Porto. So really good year for him. And then Matteo Ricciario going to Sacramento, who are obviously getting relegated to Serie B. Okay, so in terms of relegations, I'll have to do the webcam again. God damn it. So we have Brighton, Burnley and Birmingham getting themselves relegated. Burnley, Chris... please tell me he's contract running out. Who's he wanted by? Derby. Chris Wood
getting top goal scorer in the Premier League, despite Burnley getting relegated. Dwight McNeil could be a player that is quite... He does play on the left side, though, doesn't he? We'll have to see. Danny Rose is at Burnley. I'm not too sure if that's... Has that happened in real life? I can't even remember. No, it hasn't. So, Burnley's squad looks average at best. Not really anyone there that you'd probably want to go for. Not really. Obviously, Will Hughes, wonder kid of FM a few years ago. Not anymore. 27 years old. But no one here that I don't think I'm going to be going for. But maybe players in Birmingham. Probably not. Brighton, maybe. But we'll have to wait and see. So next one is going to be big old La Liga. It's going to be Madrid or Barcelona. It's Madrid. And they nearly got the Centurion mark. 1 point off Centurions. Kylian Mbappe, of course, he goes to Madrid. When did that happen? That happened last year. Yeah. Wow. Right then. 164 million, 23 and 36. Jesus Christ. No, but Madrid absolutely dominating the league. A massive 13 points away from their close rivals Barcelona. And then a massive 19 points from Madrid. Atletico Madrid, that is. Real San Sebastian getting 4th. Seville, Valencia and Bilbao getting the other European spots. And then Eibar, Zaragoza and Atletico Pamplona getting relegated. So with Madrid's side, I'm assuming they're going to be pretty dominant for the next few years, right? Yeah, they've got a very, very young squad. Core squad. Other than Ramos and Varane, and you'd probably say Casemiro, they've got a really good young squad. So definitely a team that's on the up, and probably Courtois as well. Who's their regen? Valentina Fernandez. He looks good, doesn't he? He's going to be good in a few years' time if he develops well. How good is Kylian? Yeah, unreal as well. We'll go to Portugal quick. Why not? I can't see it. Well, Porto won it. There you go. You can't see the league, but Porto won it. Benfica came second. Obviously missing Mr. Grimaldo from their side. That's why they haven't been winning. Everton, Sabalina. I'm sure that's correct. He's really, really good on this year. I've had quite a few people say that he's someone that I should go for, and he's had an absolutely incredible year for Benfica, so potentially someone we could go for. Obviously quite young as well, can play on either side, which is very, very useful. You know what? Live transfers. We'll take him to the bloody shortlist. We'll open the door for the shortlist, ask him to go in, and he's in the bloody van. That's right. Right. Don't think there's any more leagues to show you. I think the next one's obviously going to be Champions League and Europa League. And then obviously if there's anything else you want me to show you, there will be no video tomorrow. Tomorrow will be Friday the 11th of December. So just to give me a day to go through all the transfers and stuff like that, because I need a bit of time to go through, all the transfers, pre-season, stuff like that, which I won't be able to get done before tomorrow. So there's plenty of time. If you do want me to have a look at a specific team for next episode, put it in the comments. I'll be more than happy to have a look. Right then, I'll be back in a second. Let's look at the Champions League and the Europa League. Who's won it? I lied. Before we do that, I keep forgetting about the screen. The end of season review, and then we'll go to the Champions League or Europa League. So the new arrivals, Belotti's going to be up there, surely. Damn right he is. Unbloody real. I mean, all of our transfers have done pretty well. Obviously, the Wang from Dortmund. I would really like to start in Cup. Do I play him next year? Do I look for a right back? Or do I play the Wang? Oh, I don't know. It's a hard question because he's obviously not brilliant at the moment, but the development he could have and how good he could be in a few years' time makes me think that he's got the very ambitious, good determination and work rate, so he's going to develop, as long as he doesn't have any big injuries, really, really well. So potentially a first-team right-back come next year could become the new, the new best right-back ever. I can't think off the top of my head. But obviously, Florentino Luis has also been an absolute revelation. Absolutely fantastic. What a signing he's been. Joachim Andersen apparently doing really well. Grimaldo has played a lot of games this year. Blimey, I've just realised. Jesus Corona getting a 6.8 and David Neres getting a at 8 as well, which is probably a little bit harsh on Corona, considering he's got 18 goals this year from the right wing position, and Neres on the left, which you already said Neres was a little bit disappointing. But the board must be absolutely delighted. They're not. They gave a C to Belotti. Are you kidding me? He scored 24 and 25 and single-handedly gave us Champions League football board. What are you on? Wow. Right. The outs. William Carvalho having a fantastic year at Real Madrid. Obviously winning a trophy as well. Wow, okay. That makes me look like a fool. And then Hakan doing okay at Inter. Obviously played in quite a lot. Lucas Moura at Atalanta. Romagnoli not having the greatest of years at United. And Theo Hernandez at Arsenal as well, not doing particularly well. But Rio Carvalho, 30 years old, was the main reason why we sold him, because he was getting a little bit older, and obviously replaced him with Florentino Luis. So essentially a like for like, I suppose. But 12 assists is really, really good. I would like to get that out of Florentino Luis coming into next year. Try and get him assisting a little bit more, because the position he's in, he should be able to get a few more assists than 3 assists. I feel like obviously he was primarily our sort of defensive rock throughout the year. But if we can get a few more assists here, Florentino Luis, and the fact that Belotti's here as well is going to help that a lot. Right then, going on to the sort of overall board confidence of what we've done in each competition. Obviously, they said they wanted to qualify for the Euro Cup, and obviously we've exceeded that, beating Napoli to 4th place, which is very, very nice. Top goal scorer was obviously Belotti, and as I said, that I think it was March, right? Yeah, March was the month in particular that I was a little bit nervous, but thankfully, from the game against Zebra, we then went unbeaten for the rest of the year, which obviously, big results. I'd probably say the Sassuolo game, obviously. Not losing against Napoli, that was a particular one where it could have been extraordinarily, difficult or a little bit nerve-wracking. Obviously, Napoli lost their final game against, I can't remember who it was against now, Fiorentina it was. They lost against Fiorentina. So obviously, even if they'd beaten us, they probably wouldn't have got top 4 anyway. But it all depends. If they did beat us, their morale and confidence obviously would have been higher. They would have been above us in the league as well. So going into the Fiorentina game, they potentially might have had a good result. What was Napoli's final few games like, out of curiosity? So they actually beat Torino and Verona and then bottled it against Fiorentina. I mean, saying they bottled it, it's probably a bit harsh. Even if they beat Fiorentina, they wouldn't have got top 4 anyway. So Euro Cup, they're disappointed. We look heartbreak. Don't need to go into that. Don't want to hear any more about it. Italian Cup, disappointed as well. Got knocked out by Bologna. So yeah, domestically and European, Italian Cup and Euro Cup, disasters. Moments to remember against Trabzonspor. We beat Inter 4-0 and we beat what? Oh, right, okay. I was confused. I was like, did we beat Inter 4-0 both times? No, but Leah, obviously, the 4-0 against Inter, goal of the season from Castrovilli as well. Can we see this goal? I'm not sure if we can. How do I see this goal? I don't think I can. Damn. Financially, obviously, being in the Champions League is going to help massively. Belotti sold the most shirts. Donnarumma, Castrovilli, Benacer, and Tecatito getting the most shirt sales. Broadcast revenue was down a little bit. I'm assuming this was because we didn't go far in the Euro Cup. I think that was probably why. Hospitality and corporate, not too sure. Competition prize money, obviously. Wait, why did we? That's incredibly strange. I don't know why we didn't get as much money this year. And the match day commercial revenue. Hopefully that'll all go up going into next year. And this is how we primarily lined up, which is probably how, other than the defence, Luis, Castrovilli, and Benacer, Corona, Belotti, and Neres is probably how we're going to line up next year as well. If I'm honest, the accolades, signing the season has got to be Anderson, really. Wow, okay. I feel like that's very, very harsh on Belotti, if I'm honest. Donnarumma, fans player of the season. Young player of the season, Donnarumma. Goal of the season, Castrovilli. Belotti, top goal scorer. Most assists, Benacer. Belotti got the most man of the match awards coming in January. Highest average rating, Benacer as well. We didn't get any awards, unfortunately. Competition awards. Italians, best Serie A, best goalkeeper of the season. And then Premio Gentleman Serie A. He's just a gentleman. He's top goal scorer and he's a gentleman. He just goes around with a shirt and tie. You know, he says, "Good day, how are you? Well done, how are you? Thank you for letting me score against you." That's how he is. That wasn't Italian in the slightest, but you get my point. Is he Italian? He is Italian. I hate the fact that it does this. And then, yeah, perfect. So, worst discipline, Florentino Luis. Oh, disaster. Right. So we'll go delighted. Yes, you love to see it. And they want us to, next year, qualify for the Euro Cup. And then the year after, the challenge for the Serie A title. We'll accept it. I feel like we'll challenge next year, if I'm honest. Discuss plans for next year. Qualify the champion. Is this going to annoy them? No, they love that. Yes. Motivational master. Is this going to... Okay. I didn't know what to say there, because I don't... we haven't been in the top 4 yet with these boys. Yeah, we'll do that. Enjoy your pre-season, boys. You deserve it. It's under you, Donnarumma and Zlatan. Not you two. You can stay and train for the next 3 months. Okay. So, Milan, we'll go to Italy for our pre-season training. And then Serie A Team of the Year. Manager shortlist. I'm not in it. Absolute poppycock. Wow. Lukaku getting 29. Oh, Belotti was 2 goals off. Damn. Cristiano Ronaldo, unreal. And this. Yeah. Okay, perfect. So, we're going to go to Champions League, Europa League. Let's go. And the Champions League has been won by Real Madrid, beating Manchester City with a very dominant 3-0 win in the final. I'm assuming Mbappe probably scored. He didn't. Hazard with 2. And they actually went 3-0 up before half-time. So it could have potentially been a little bit of a demolition job for City and potentially more embarrassing with the lineup that Real Madrid went with. But it's a very even game. Probably a little bit harsh on City to say they, considering they lost 3-0. Very even in terms of shots. Obviously, they had better expected goals, but potentially, other than Mbappe, a side that you expect to be fielding in the Champions League for Madrid at the moment. And potentially Mbappe next season. You never know. Mbappe might be going to Madrid next year in real life. So we'll have to wait and see. And with that, has Pep been sacked? He hasn't. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with Pep Guardiola. Because obviously there's a lot of sort of, not rumours, but everyone thinks that unless Guardiola wins the Champions League, he's going to leave in the next few years. But we'll have to wait and see. Obviously in 2022, Guardiola, 51 years old, so not getting any younger. Does he want to change of scenery? Potentially. We'll have to wait and see. And Euro Cup. Who won the Euro Cup? And it is won by Manchester United. Oh, Tottenham. When I said that it could have been more embarrassing for Manchester City, it was more embarrassing for Tottenham. Oh, blimey. Oh, that's it. I mean, I don't know what's worse. The fact that United won a European trophy or Tottenham getting battered in a European trophy. And I mean, they're used to it at this point. I'm joking. Banter, all right? Banter. So, how dominant were United? Once again, a very even game. Blimey. Greenwood getting a hat-trick in a Euro Cup final. And once again, you'd probably say, did they deserve it? Oh, I mean, I don't know who deserved to win. You'd probably say United. But 5-1, probably not. I mean, Kane, everyone had a poor game. Greenwood... played absolutely fantastic. I mean, United's team overall played really, really well. You'd probably say the United team's a lot stronger. Not a lot, maybe, but definitely stronger than Tottenham's. They've got this random centre mid, Giadi Samasescu, I think. I'm not sure how you say his name, unfortunately, but once again, a lineup you'd probably expect for United to field Greenwood, Rashford, Fernandes, Otavio. He's really good, isn't he? Yep. With 75 million as well. Reguilon, that's not United. Alex Telles, Maguire, Lindelof, Wan-Bissaka, and Pogba in the middle. So, yeah, United and Madrid winning both European trophies. Obviously, United did finish in the top 4, so they do go into the next year's Champions League with a trophy under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Is that the first trophy he's won at United? I think it might be, right? No, is it? No, they won. No, it is. Okay, yeah. So it is. That's the first trophy they've won under Solskjaer, and potentially a lot more to come. We'll have to wait and see. But yeah, obviously, as I do apologise for there being no matches and stuff. Hopefully, you understand as to why. We all like to have a feel of what's going around the leagues. Who's won what, and hopefully we'll be at the pinnacle of challenging for Champions Leagues in this year or next. We'll have to see how that goes. But that is going to bring us to the end of the episode. You know what's coming, don't you? Of course you do. You're prepared. The end of the episode is here. So thank you all once again very much for watching. Any comments, anything like that, any constructive criticism, feedback about these episodes, always welcome. So you can message me on my Twitter, Twitch, Discord, all of which are either on screen or in the description. And yeah, let me know how you think we've got on. Obviously, we're on the episode 19 now, episode 20 to come. 20 episodes in, blimey. And hopefully we'll get to at least episode 40 or so before we go into our long-term save for the year, which is yet to be revealed. Only 2 people know about... actually, no one knows about my YouTube long-term save, so I'm the only one. I'm keeping close to my chest, you see. No, but thank you all very much for watching, ladies and gentlemen. Stay safe, have a good morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you are in the world. And I'll see you, episode 20. Goodbye.